The 14th of April, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we're up to Schir Nami. Oh, so what did we say? We said we're Schir Nami. Okay, so it's just really right before the two dots. Two dots are about 20 lines from the bottom of Gimel Amid Aleph. And the first words of the line are Schir Nami. Like the 3 full lines above where the two dots are, which are about 20 lines from the bottom of the Amud.
So it's 3A, 3, left-hand column, third paragraph. The Gemara now explains.
Right. Okay. Oh, now Roy is also here.
Oh boy, got a full house.
Okay. Okay, Lou, you want to start?
Sachir Nami Amar Le Vaal Habayis. Let's see. The employee also says to the homeowner, who is the employer, Ana Avdi Avida Sa Ga Bach. I did work for you. My is li gabe chanvani. What have I to do with the shopkeeper? Af al gav de mish taba li lo me heyman li. Even if he swears to me, I do not consider him trustworthy. Hilkach tarvaihu mish tab'ai v'shaklei mi baal habayis. Therefore, both of them swear and collect from the homeowner. Both of them swear and collect from the homeowner.
Yeah. Right. Let's just remind ourselves of what the case is all about that we're talking over here. And also Phil Alan, is Alan here? Oh, Alan didn't come in.
He came
I
in.
saw him trying to get in.
We lost him, I think.
Oh. Okay. Well, hopefully he'll be back. Roy, you see where we are? We're right at the. We just finished reading up to the two dots on the bottom of Gimel Amid Aleph. Here comes Alan again.
It's 3A3, Roy. 3A3, left-hand column,
Thank you. Yeah.
third paragraph.
So remember you remember the case that we're talking about over here. We've got three people involved over here. We got we call him a balabais, but he's really the employer who employed this poel, this sahir, this worker, to do a job for him. And there doesn't seem to be any question about whether the worker did the job. He has done the job. The issue is whether he was paid. And the balabayas, he gave a shlichus to the chenvani to be his agent to pay pay for the worker. and and then the agreement between the two of them was that you pay him for me. I can't do it right now, but I'm going to pay you back when you do that. So that there's two agreements the balabais made over here with these two different individuals. He made an agreement with the worker. You do the job for me, I'm going to pay you. And he also made an agreement with the chenvani. You pay the worker, and I'll pay you. So he's the one that's connected to both of them. But what the Gemora over here is saying is that as far as the chenvani is concerned, this middleman, and as far as the worker is concerned, the poel or the sechir, both of them are saying to the balabais, listen, I've got nothing to do with this guy over here. As far as I'm concerned, there's a fremde. He's an outsider. He's got nothing to do with the deal that you made with me. I work for you, you pay me. And the chenvani says, I pay the worker for you, and you pay me. That's the only. Both of them are saying basically the same thing. And if they're willing to swear to that, both of them are swearing, both the chenvani and the sechir or the poel. If they both swear, each one of them is saying that the other person's shvua, I don't accept it. Got nothing to do with him. I made no agreement with him or anything, and it has no force or effect upon me either. And therefore, as a result, the Gemara says that when each one of them make a shvua, they're really making a shvua to the balabais, and therefore each one of them is going to collect from the balabais. So the balabais is going to end up having to pay double over here. Oh, 1 second. I got a phone call. Oh, no, this is, 1 second. Hello? Yes, Shalom. Oh, okay. Listen, okay, I'll speak to you in a minute. Okay, just a second.
So, Deborah, how this is Nogea is that the emails that go out after the webinar, they all go to launch Summer 84. Okay. Okay, anyway, okay, fine. What else is there? What else is there about pre-launch? Pre-launch Ricky is a lot of the advertising and stuff, but we won't. When are we going to talk about that? We must talk about that. Okay, fine. So you're fine. So I'm not gonna think about it then. But you need something from us, don't you? You need an ad.
Hey, we're good to go. Like we said. First, we said we're not going to be here. Then we said we are going to be here. And then I got a scare, and there's nothing to be scared about. So we're going to be here until 12:30. Okay. Okay. So that's the story over here. He's going to have to pay twice, this balabais. That's what happened over here. He's going to pay twice. He's not going to pay because remember, he didn't pay anything to anybody yet. So it's not, I think I might have said a couple days ago, he's going to pay 3 times. He's not paying 3 times because he hasn't paid anybody anything yet. But now, if both of these 2 guys are going to make a shvua to him, as neither one of them accepts the other one's shvua in regard to his own situation, but the balabais is going to have to accept both of their shvuas, and therefore he's going to have to pay to the chenvani because the chenvani claims that he paid the guy,
Joe?
and he's also going to have to pay the worker because the worker claims that chenvani did not pay him. So, is there any Rashi over here? Lo mehemonli. I think we did that last time. Lo mehemonli. Each one of these 2 is saying that the other one is not mehemon to him. He's not. He's not required to accept his shvua. Means nothing to him that the other one made a shvua that he paid or that he didn't get the money. Doesn't mean anything. And Rashi said over there, because Rashi gives he gives the reasoning. You see where we are? It's like in the middle of the mamish, in the middle of the Rashi column. Rashi says, "Lo mehemonli, einu mamina b'shvua." Okay, Phil, you want to read that Rashi again? I think you read it last time. You can read it again this time too.
Let me try to catch which one we're on now. I'm trying to find my spot again.
Oh,
Which one? The
Dibra Maskil Lo Mehemon Li.
Lo Meheman. We don't believe me. Einu Ma'amin B'Shua. He's not believed with an oath, with a shua. Ani Omer. I will say Shehu Russia, that he's a Russia. That's why I'm not believing him. The Ainli Lahaminim. I don't believe him. Adam B'Shua. Al Karcho, you're forced to say Ella rather Im Kain Mantiv, that he was believed Machila at the beginning, Lahafkid, that's slow to deposit with him, or Lahita no Emo, or to benefit with him.
Lahasnos Imo. I didn't make any deal with him. From the word Tanai. make any conditions up with him. I didn't make any agreement with him whatsoever. So since I didn't make any agreement with him, and I didn't what's the other thing? Elim Kane, Hemantiv Mitchila Lahak. I didn't deposit anything with him. So I didn't. Rashi's pointing out that each one of them is saying I didn't have any dealings with this person that would show that I trust him. I didn't deposit my valuable item by him to trust him with it. I didn't make a business agreement with him containing conditions of what I'll do and what he will do. And that also would show that he trusts the person. In such a case, it would seem that according to Rashi, he would have to accept the shvua from the person, even though he doesn't really have any dealings with him in this particular case. Or maybe that's what Rashi's saying. It doesn't have anything to do with him in this whole case. And accordingly, he doesn't have to accept his shvua. The Hanvani is not affected by the fact that the worker is making a shvua that the Hanvani didn't pay him anything. And likewise, the worker is not affected by the Hanvani's shvua that says that he did pay him. Both of them are saying the other one's shvua is as far as I'm concerned, shvua that I wasn't paid. I'm making a shvua that I paid the guy, and therefore you, the balabais, got to reimburse me for what I did. And the din is that that's exactly what he's got to do. Oh boy. Okay. Just a second. I got my chair fell all the way down to the bottom. Okay. Okay, I'll survive. Okay, so weiter. Is that the end of that section? Yeah, that's the two dots, and that's the story. Now, why was it? I'm just thinking right now. Why was it that the Gemora brought us this whole story with the Chenvani al Picasso over here? Gemora wants to say now that Bein l'Rabbanan, Bein l'Rabbi Yossi, Hasam l'gabi Chenvani al Picasso, Tiktani. Ze nishba v'notel, ma'ishna, d'lo yamrinim, nafke l'mamona, v'balabais v'yehei munach, ad shiyavu elio. D'ha b'vadai ikaramai. So the Gemora's question was that we know that Lefi Rabbanan and Rav Yossi, they both of them say that when we know that we got a ramai, we withhold the disputed amount of money. According to Rabbanan, the disputed amount of money is withheld. According to Rav Yossi, all of the money is withheld. And if so then what's doing in this case of the Chenvani on Picasso that we don't we give the balabais has to give money to both both the Chenvani as well as the Poel. The Gemara is asking, why don't we say that let the Balabais give one deposit of let's say the work, and it was going to give him $1,000. So let the Balabais put $1,000 into the coffers of the Bezdin in safekeeping, and neither one of them will get it, and we'll wait for Elio to tell us what the din is in this case. Do we give it to the Chenvani? We give it to the Poel. Why should this poor Balabais have to pay double? That's really the question that the Gemara was asking. The Gemara is assuming that the din of the Chenvani al Pinkaso, that it says that they both swear and they both take, has to accord with the ruling either of Rabbanan or Rabbi Yossi in the case of the three manas. So that's what the Gemara is trying to answer. The Gemara is giving an answer over here. No, this case of Chenvani and Picasso is not comparable. Is not comparable to the case of the three manas. It's true that there's a Vadai Rame over here. That's a comparison, and that was the Gemara's question. Based upon that a common denominator, we would have thought that the ruling should have reflected either the ruling that the Rabbanan made or Rabbi Yossi made in the case of the Gimel Manos. But we see that the ruling of Chenvani and Picasso is not like that, because the money is being, the Balabais is going to have to give to both of them if they swear. And so the Gemara is answering why the Balabais has got to give to both of them over here. And we don't say, let the Balabais just give 1,000 into the Bezdin, and then let the Elio come and tell us who's entitled to that 1,000. Oh. So really what the Gemara is saying is what it's doing here is it's just explaining the case of the Chenvani and Picasso, right? But what we need to do, or what Art Scroll is going to need to do, is going to have to tell us. And so, why is that not? What's the difference now between this case of Chenvani of Picasso and the case of the Gimel Manos? The Art Scroll to come along and say, and that's not what's going on in the case of Gimel Manos, and that's why in the case of Gimel Manos, the Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi say what they say over here. Meaning that the Gemara is saying over here, this case of the Chenvani al Pinkaso is not inconsistent with the ruling that Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi said in the other case of the Gimel Manos. But we're not hearing really, I'm not hearing really 100% what's the, and so how is that and how is the case of the Gimel Manos when we have, remember the case of Gimel Manos? We had two people, and one of them deposited 200 by the trusted custodian, and one of them deposited 100 by the trusted custodian. So in that case, and then when the custodian gives it back, that both of them both of them are saying that they're the ones that gave 200. So we have a machlekes between the two of them. Who's the one that should get the 200 and the other one will get the 100? And so in that case, the Rabbanan say, we'll give 100 to each one of them. And the third 100, we say, we put it in the Bezdin and wait for Eliyahu to come and tell us. Rabbi Yossi says, oh, with the Ramai, since there's a Ramai over here, we don't put any of it out. We put all 3 manas in the Bezdin and wait for Eliyahu to tell us who it is, belongs to. So on that, the Gemora is asking if that's the way the Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi said in the case of Gimel Manos. So what's different about the case of Chenvani al Pinkaso? The case of Chenvani al Pinkaso, the Gemora is assuming should be the ruling should be similar to the cases to the way that Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi ruled in the case of the Gimel Manos, and we see that it's not. The Gemara asked, "Ma'ishna the lo amrinin nafke l'momone mibalabais v'yehei munach ad sheyavu Eliyahu sharei b'vadai ikar ramai." Since we know we got a ramai in the case of Chenvani al Pinkaso, so we should also put some money in the Bezdin. The disputed amount is the whole 1,000. Why is it that the Balabais has to give 1,000 to this one and 1,000 to that one? One of them is definitely a crook. That's the Gemara's question. The other guy is a crook. The other guy is a Russia. I didn't have anything to do with him. All I know is that I paid the guy and you got to pay me back. And the other one says, all I know is I worked for you and you got to pay me. And he has to pay both of them. But how does that explain why? And now the Gemara goes on to something else. That's the end of the story. The Gemara is very happy with this answer, but I don't understand the answer. I don't have a question, but I don't understand the answer. So what's the answer? What are we saying about what? So why is it in the case, in other words, why is it in the case of the Gimel Manos that we don't say like this? Why the ruling in these two cases different from one another? The Gemara is giving an explanation about what's doing in this case, but anyway. So what is? I'm sure Ashko says something over there. What do they say?
Let's see.
He said it was not his responsibility to have witnesses present. We said that last time, I think, didn't we? It's not fair that the shopkeeper's money should be permanently set aside as a result of the employee's negligence. Rather, the employee should have to reimburse him, even if this will mean that the employer has to pay twice, once to him and once to the employee. The Shita Mekubet test explains the need for the various elements of the shopkeeper's argument. Reduced to the essentials, the argument of the shopkeeper is that his claim against the homeowner is completely independent of the employer's conflicting claim, which is not bound to contend with. He is not bound to contend with. The homeowner trusted him to disperse the funds, which he did, and he now seeks reimbursement from the homeowner. This is in case of the homeowners where the conflicting claims are part of a single lawsuit. Therefore, the claim of each litigant is counterbalanced by the claim of the other. Then it goes on to say that the employee's argument is essentially the same as the shopkeepers. His claim against the employer is completely independent of the shopkeeper's conflicting claim, and there is no reason for him to contend with the shopkeeper. The employee owed him wages and has proof that they were, and has no proof that they were ever paid. See Ritva.
Okay, good. So we see that they're all discussing this question. But I hear from what you read from the one of the commentators that you read, what we're saying in the case of the Gimel Monos, when we got two guys and one gave 200 to the custodian and one gave 100 to the custodian, when they start arguing and saying, I'm the one that's entitled to the 200, for some reason, though each one of those claims contradicts the other one's claim. In other words, the one that says, I'm the one that gave in 200, that contradicts the other one that says, I'm the one that gave 200. Whereas in the case of the Chenvani up in Kasso, each one of the claims of the shopkeeper taken down by the claim of the worker that you didn't pay me. And similarly, the worker's claim that I worked and I didn't get paid by the Chenvani is not taken down by what the Chenvani says that he did pay him. That's definitely so, but I don't see any reason why we have to say, especially according to Rashi, because Rashi says the reason why the shopkeeper doesn't have to accept the shvua of the worker is because he didn't make a deal with him. He made no deal with the guy. All the deal that he made was he made a deal with the balabais. He didn't make any deal with the other guy. Here comes Alan again. He's trying. The last 5 minutes of the shir, very good. But I would. It seems to me that in the case of the two depositors, they didn't have anything to do with one another either, did they?
Yes, they did.
What did they have to do with one another?
If I remember the case, they deposited together.
Oh, okay. So then that'll make it that'll be the whole difference. In other words, they trusted one another. Oh, let's say they maybe they put the whole 3 manas in one bag, in one box, and they gave that box to the custodian. So you see that they trusted one another.
I think that might be the case.
Okay. So in that case, that's why we say that each one of those two guys' claims takes down the other ones. They contradict one another. Neither one of them can say, I don't care what this other guy says that he's the one that gave 200. Who's he? He's a Russia. I don't trust him. I had nothing to do with him. I'm telling you that I gave you 200 and you got to give me back 200. So that's really the question. Why is it the case that the depositee, he doesn't have to give both of them back 200 according to their claim if they would swear to it? No, we don't say that. We say that each one of them is going to get 100 according to Rabbanan, and the third mana we don't give to anybody at all. And the depositee, he doesn't have to lose out over here at all. So that's going to be the answer. Okay, good. So that's the answer. They did trust one another. They did. In other words, they really did a deal together. Their deal is that we're giving this guy 300 mana or 3 manas, and we'll take it back when we want to take it back. So they trusted one another to put it in the same box. But I would like somebody to say that though. Who said that? Because we never really learned that case. That case was just mentioned here in passing. We don't know the details of the case. But I would say that's if that is the details of the case, then that would explain it. Okay, good. Fine. Okay, we got 3 minutes left. Let's start the next section. Tani Reb Chia. Oh, the famous case of the mana of Reb Chia. Okay, Roy, want to start?
All right, Tani Reb Chia, Reb Chia taught the law in the following case. Mana li biyadaka. A plaintiff claims that you owe me a money. V'hala alma ein locha b'yadi kalum. And this one, the defendant replies, I owe you nothing. V'haidim ma'idim also sheyesh lo hamishim zuz. Hamishim zuz. But witnesses testify on the plaintiff's behalf that he is indeed owed 50 zuz by the defendant. So you owe me a manna, and this one says I owe you nothing. But the witnesses testify on the plaintiff's behalf that he is owed 50 zuz by the defendant. The law is Nasen Lo Ashim Zuz V'Yishbei Al Hasha'ar. You the law is the defendant gives the plaintiff the 50 zuz owned as attested by the witnesses, and he must swear to the plaintiff regarding the rest that he does not owe him. Shalau tehi haldas piv nadala maha ace adim makal v'chomer. For the admission of his own mouth shall not be greater than the testimony of witnesses, as can be demonstrated from a kol v'chomer. The admission of his own mouth, shall not be greater than the testimony of witnesses, as can be demonstrated from a kol v'chomer.
Speaking about money.
Okay, very good. Yashikoyak, everybody.
Yeah, be well.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay,
All right, thank you. We'll see
We'll
you.
see you tomorrow.
Ezrat Hashem.
All right.
See you, Alan. I don't know if you can hear us, but bye. Thank you for trying to come in.
I can see you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you, Alan.
Right.
We hear you.
Okay. I have a blank screen for me.
You
Okay.
say-
Ah,
Yeah, we see a blank screen for you also.
All right. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Okay.